Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Sheffield United Way match reaction. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Blades losing out 3-1 to Liverpool at Anfield. I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't even know what to say. They're so inconsistent, these boys. But I'm proud of them tonight. I thought they were much, much, much better. Actually, they've been much, much, much better in the last three games. Unfortunately, we've been in a position where we've been able to take away points from the game in the last kind of 20 minutes of all the last three games. The last three games we've been winning, drawing in the last in the lead up to the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's a bit sad. But at the end of the day, we are playing Liverpool. They're going for the title. They've got loads of injuries. We've got loads of injuries. We went for it. We didn't go for it. We played the perfect game until we didn't, if you know what I mean. Until Liverpool scored that absolutely stunning second goal. I think we did everything we could to stay in this game tonight and just try and get something from the game, and it almost worked perfectly. I thought we defended fantastically tonight, really, really well. And actually, if we'd have got Holgate, Anel, and Robinson as the back three all season, it probably doesn't matter who your back three is all season. If you can keep them all fit and all together, then you've got a bit of a chance. And these three players, after seeing tonight's performance, I'm not a massive Holgate fan. I think Anel's been poor for large parts of the season. Robinson's been fantastic all season. He got the lowest mark tonight for his rating, apparently, on Flashscore, but I don't care. I don't care one little bit because I think Robinson's been brilliant all season. Yeah, if we'd have kept them three fit and together all season, obviously Holgate only joined in January. But if you can keep a solid three there for most of the season, you've got a good chance. But we've been chopping and changing all season. That's the main reason why we've conceded so many goals. But it's not for that, just for that reason. We've also conceded silly goals, which made the manager take him out. Anyway, let's start from the beginning. Like I've just said, the back three, Holgate, Anel, and Robinson, Gerbich in the goal, Bogle and Trusty at wing backs. As soon as I saw that Trusty was at wing back, I was like, what is Chris Wilder doing? But actually, I thought Austin Trusty was fantastic tonight. He's got the highest rating of all the defenders. So fair play. Austin Trusty had a really, really good game tonight. And I think when you look back and think of him as a right wing back or left wing back or a left back, you look at that Arsenal game and see that Saka absolutely hammered him down that, well, their right, our left. But Trusty in a five at left wing back, he's quite solid, or at least looks solid tonight, let's say. So yeah, fair play. I think Bogle did really well, picking the ball up and trying to move us forward. I think his defending's got so much better as well. Arblaster, Vinny Souza, and Harmer in the midfield. Good to see Arblaster keep getting games of football because I think he's a great player. I don't think he showed it as much tonight, but he was playing Liverpool at Anfield, so you got to cut him a bit of slack. McAtee and Brereton Diaz up front, I was a little bit shocked, but I understand why Chris Wilder went for it, because it's two players that can help you on the break. And that's all we were doing tonight. It was sitting back, defending, and then trying to catch them on the break. Neither of them possess that much pace, but together, they're both quite tricky. They're both good dribblers of the ball, or can hold on to the ball well. As my dad always says, a ball, what does he say? Ball under the jumper sort of player. A player that doesn't give the ball away too easy. It's a player that hangs on to it and hangs on to it when you need them to. And McAtee's good at that. Ben Brereton Diaz is good at that too. And they're both quite good at kind of getting free kicks out of the other team as well, which obviously advances up the pitch and get us to get a ball into the box. So I was quite happy with the side tonight. I understand why I didn't go McBurney. It still would have been nice to have seen him up front with Brereton Diaz with how well they played, but this was a different type of game to at home against Fulham. Away against Liverpool, you've got to dig in, you've got to sit back, you've got to absorb as much as possible and then try and nick something on the break. And that's what we did. And we did nick something. It was really lucky, but we'll get onto that in a second. So what wasn't lucky was in the very first minute we get a throw in. We start this game really, really quickly. We start the kickoff and we are on the front foot. Start as you mean to go on. And we get a throw in on our left-hand side there, right. Jack Robinson picks it up and launches it into the box. Enel flicks it on with a brilliant, brilliant brush of his head. And the boy, James McAtee, he's stealing in at that back post. No one's seen him. He volleys it with his right, but it's straight at Kelleher, unfortunately. Kelleher, it's a good save, but at the same time, you've got to say he doesn't really have much time to move his body. So the fact that McAtee has managed to find his right leg, I think it was, it makes a good save, but McAtee should have been putting that away. And I'm thinking at this point, as I generally do when we're in the Premier League, I'm thinking, is that going to be our best chance of the whole game? It probably was, but obviously we scored a goal anyway, so it didn't matter as much. But you got to be putting them away, especially when we're in the position that we're in. Yes, none of us think that we're going to get out of this. But if he puts that away and we go 1-0 up really early, who knows what could happen? Obviously, we probably know what's going to happen, but it would have been nice to have gone 1-0 up after 1 minute. That would have sent shockwaves through the Liverpool squad, Anfield itself, and obviously it would have been nice to see us go 1-0 up and have something to try and hold on to. Obviously, when you're trying to hold on to a draw, it's much harder than holding on to a win because the other team's got to score 2 goals, obviously. But yeah, it was a really, really good opportunity that McAtee should have put away. Then straight from that, a corner comes in. I think Trusty goes for it. I'm not sure if he gets anything on it. He goes up with can't remember. It goes up with Canate or someone like that, and I think it comes off the Liverpool player. Ben Brereton Diaz is coming in at the back post, just can't get there. But I thought this could have been flicked goalwards by Trusty, and it could have been a goal anyway. But it wasn't to be. So that's 2 minutes, 2 chances, and I'm thinking, you know what? We're going for it, or we're at least putting some good balls into the box and creating chances from them, because that's we've been poor at that this season. If you're not as good on the deck as the other team, you need to be putting balls into the box and trying to get a little bit of an edge in a different way. And we haven't done that well enough this season at all. I can't remember too many goals that we've scored from corners or throw-ins. I don't think we've scored one goal from a throw-in this season. We don't score many goals from Jack Robinson's throw-ins, but I'm going to class that tonight as a really, really, really good move. Jack Robinson, really good throw, really good flick on from an L, and that should have been 1-0, as I said earlier. And then it starts. It's a barrage of Liverpool attacks, but I'd understand it if they scored an absolute screamer as they did for the second one, or they just passed through us, which they did at times. They were really, really good one-touch passing. It felt like they were always just stood on their own. But I think that's just the movement and how quickly they pass the ball around. We always seem to have one or two men on each man. They seem to just kind of get free at will. But in the 17th minute, I think it's Jack Robinson that lays the ball back to Gerbic. He has so much time. So much time. I think he's looking for a centre back, and they don't move out quick enough for him. And I've seen loads and loads of it. People try to think of things to blame to fit their agenda, I feel sometimes. And I feel like some people on Twitter want to blame the defenders. And yes, fair enough. I think that Gerbic, he's not been great this season, but a lot of what he's had to deal with have been top corner strikes, bottom corner strikes. He's struggled, but a lot of them haven't been his fault. And I think some fans are wanting to paint this as not his fault, but he's got to take the blame for it. I think with his head down, he knows that he's made a mistake. It did make me laugh on Twitter. Paddy Kenny tweeted, if I'd have made that mistake, there's no way Mogs would have given me a high five or whatever, because that's what Anel did. Anel walked up to him, giving a high five, said, "Come on, let's crack on." And sometimes some players need that. They need an arm around the shoulder, but sometimes they need a bit of a having a go at, shall we say. And like Paddy said, it's a different time. Like Chris Morgan probably would have given Paddy a shoe in. I hope Chris Wilder said something to Gerbich at half time, because it's not good enough. He had probably, it felt like about 10 to 15 seconds to clear this ball. Yes, he might have been looking for defenders, but that does not stop you from, that does not make you kick the ball against their player. Even if you think you're in trouble, put it out play. Goes right, goes left, wherever. If you think you're in trouble, he obviously didn't, but he should have thought that, because he was bearing down on him and he's kicked it straight as a die. Where is Darwin Núñez going to run? He's going to run straight at him, isn't he? He's not going to zigzag his run or anything. He's running straight at him. He kicked it straight. It's hit him. Quite often, these goals, they hit a player and they go wide, or they hit a player and then they land straight into the goalkeeper's arms or something like that. But tonight, obviously, because it's Sheffield United, it had to hit him and it had to go directly into the back of the net. Just about enough pace on it where you think that Gerbich might just get back. Obviously, he doesn't. They go 1-0 up. Darwin Núñez, 17th minute. And then after that, Gerbich made a decent save from Soberslai. It was pretty much straight at him, but he pushes it to one side. And then we're looking. I tend to kind of look at the Blades' chances more than Liverpool chances as usual. But the ball comes into Ben Brereton Diaz. He holds it up really well. Jayden Bogle makes a great run. He passes it through two Liverpool players. Jayden Bogle, I think it's just inside the 18-yard box on the angle. It's a great strike. It's a very solid save from Kelleher. Very, very solid. But yeah, he should be saving those. And if Gerbich would have let that in, I would have been very disappointed. So yeah, it comes at sort of his front post, but it's close enough for the goalkeeper to make a quite simple save. I think there was another one. There was an Anel volley as well just before that was offside, but it was a lovely ball in from Bogle. Anel just put it over the bar. If he'd have finished that and it had been offside, I'd have been like, fair play, Anel. Obviously, no goals for you, but fair play. But yeah, it just showed that we did not just sit back and let them come at us all game. We picked our times to attack and picked our times to put the ball in uncomfortable positions for the Liverpool defence. And I think we did it. Like I say, almost to a T tonight. It was just a bit of a shame that second goal went in. But we go into half-time. Like I said at the start of the video, I thought we defended really, really well. All three central centre-backs defended really well. Trusty and Bogle defended really well as well. We will get onto their second goal in a second, obviously, and Anel had a bit of a hand in that one. But no, I thought Anel was fantastic. A few last-ditch tackles, balls getting knocked away at the front post. I think he just had a really, really good game, and I think his rating must have got knocked down by him kicking the ball pretty well. Kicking the ball at Luis Diaz, I think it was, and then landing straight to McAllister. But yeah, we'll get there in a second. Yeah, I think we limited them to not many chances, especially in the first half, and actually in the second half mostly before they scored the second goal. I think they were putting a lot of balls into the box. In the first half, they were getting to the byline and crossing them in, but it just wasn't coming off for them. In the second half, there were a lot coming in from the left-hand side, lots of corners, lots of crosses from Andy Robertson. But we dealt with most of them. And yeah, I don't think there's anything that really, other than Gerbich's terrible error for the first goal, I don't think there's anything Gerbich could have done for the other goals either. 52nd minute, Ben Brereton Diaz goes down on the edge of the box. I think it's Canate. He literally just looks at Canate, turns back round, and then goes straight down. You love to see it when it's your team. You love to see it. Right on the edge of the box. Gus Harmer, I said to my wife, What do you reckon? Is he crossing this or is he shooting? And we know that Gus Harmer's got it in his locker to have a shot from there. And half of me did think that he was going to shoot, but I thought this is a perfect position. Stand it up, let two or three blokes just run at it and try and head it in the back of the net. He has a go. It's not good enough. There's not enough on it, and Kelleher just casually walks to his left, stops it, easy. Um, yeah, a bit of a shame. Bit of a shame on that one because we're in a really, really good position there. And obviously, we caused them a few problems early on. So putting the ball into the box would have been nice to see, especially as we've got four big defenders that could have been attacking that. Ben Brereton Diaz too. So and Vinny Souza, we've got quite a few lads going in there at the back post and trying to score a goal. But yeah, obviously he hits the free kick pretty much straight at Kelleher, just to his side. And then the 58th minute comes, and this is where the Blades give us a little bit of hope. And it's the hope that kills you, in it, ladies and gents. McAtee gets down the right hand side. It looks like he's struggling a little bit, and he's like, oh. And then someone comes in to try and take the ball off him. He nicks it past him. He's got loads of time, oceans of time to find this pass and decide exactly where he wants to put it. It weren't far away. I think he was aiming at Ben Brereton Diaz to come in and head it in. It's just a little bit over Ben Brereton Diaz. Gus Harmer heads it back across goal to no one, really. But it was to Connor Bradley, and it hit the outside of his boot, I think it was, and through Kelleher's legs. I'm not saying that that's the only way we were going to score a goal tonight, but it was nice to see own goal rear his beautiful head and get back on the score sheet for the Blades, because we haven't seen you in a while, own goal. So thank you for gracing us with your presence, and like I said, giving us a little bit of hope in this game, which we didn't really need or want, because it just makes it worse to record these videos when you've got a tiny bit of hope that you're going to get something from the game. No expectation, just a tiny bit of hope. Anyway, 62nd minute, and this is where we've been struggling as of late. When we bring on the substitutions, that's when it seems to go to pot and we concede goals. Yes, we did again, but it wasn't because of the substitutions tonight. Yeah, I think Ozzy. It was Ozzy that came on, Asula and McBurney, and yeah, I think it's fair. McAtee looked tired. Brereton Diaz didn't look very happy that it was coming off, but he did look a little bit tired, and I think it wasn't Trusty. Can't remember who it was, but we'll move on from that. We don't need to know every single player that comes on and comes off. So yeah, triple substitution. I thought that they did pretty well when they came on. Asula was a handful. McBurney was a handful, such a handful that he got himself booked for a change. But no, they both came on and looked like they were doing the same job, but a different job, because obviously Asula's going to be the man that's going to be kind of chasing and trying to get us on the break and stuff like that. McBurney's going to be in there to try and hold the ball up and bring other players into it. I thought everyone played well tonight. I thought Vinny Souza was poor in parts, but also I think he did really well in parts. Gus Harmer, the stats don't say it and the ratings don't say it, but I think Gus played well. And it was a bit sad to see Ben Brereton Diaz go off, but we've got to keep these players fit, haven't we? At the end of the day, we don't want to lose Ben Brereton Diaz for 3 or 4 games and it practically be the end of the season. We want to get more out of him this season. So I understand why Chris Wilder would bring him off and bring on some fresh legs. But we go to the 69th minute, where the ball drops to Luis Diaz. He looks like he's onto it. He's going to score. And Nell gets across, boots the ball over the crossbar. I actually think it was a bit of both, and I think it ended up being a Gerbic goal kick. But Anel, again, does really well to get across. He's nowhere to be seen in this move, and he just manages to get across and get the ball over the bar somehow. Which again was really, really good. Then between the 69th minute and the 72nd, Virgil van Dijk grabs Austin Trusty by the throat and pushes him down to the floor. Now, that's the second time that's happened in a week. And it's getting a bit beyond a joke, isn't it? Like, why do players keep grabbing the throats of our players? If we would be doing that, we'd be getting sent off week in, week out. But it happened last week to Basse, and it happened this week to Virgil van Dijk. And what needs to happen for a red card to occur? I'm sure raising your hands to anyone should be a red card, but wasn't looked at. Nobody even mentioned it because it's Sheffield United, little old Sheffield United. Anyway, we get into the 72nd minute. The ball is played to the back post to Robertson, and he's got a really, really good chance to volley this past Gerbic. He volleys it just wide, and I'm thinking, this is our night. This is our night. We are going to pick up a point. Obviously, I'm not thinking that for certain because we are playing Liverpool, and we do like to throw games away for fun. We could play Accrington Stanley at home and still manage to throw a goal or two away. Guarantee it. 76th minute comes. Here's the goal. I can't exactly remember how it happens, but the ball comes across the box, I believe. I think it's Robertson that fires the ball across. NL smashes the ball away. He smashes it straight at Luis Diaz. It hits him and lands perfectly for Alexis McAllister to smash the ball absolutely perfectly into the top corner. And that's what just happens when you're down at the bottom. But that's what happens when you play world-class players. And Alexis McAllister is a world-class player, believe it or not. He's won the World Cup very, very recently. And obviously deserved his move to Liverpool from Brighton because they were brilliant at Brighton. He's just coming into his own as well. He's a very, very good player. He had a really, really good game tonight. And that strike, oh, I would love it if we had somebody that could strike a ball like that. But it lands in the top corner. Little bit of question marks on Ollie McBurney because it looked like he was picking him up and he let him go, or he didn't track him and he manages to find the top corner. But I'm not blaming McBurney on that one. It's a great finish and it's very, very lucky because McBurney is trying to get on the break, isn't he? He's a striker at the end of the day. Should he really be defending against one of the best strikers of a ball in the Premier League? Possibly not. But he sees that NL smashes this ball away. It unfortunately ricochets off one of their men and lands to one of their other men. So yeah, I kind of let him off for that one. But yeah, it was probably McBurney not tracking him. But NL should be finding the stand or getting the ball as far away from our goal as possible. And unfortunately, it goes that way sometimes. And then in the 90th minute, it's a fantastic ball in from, I think it's Robertson again, and Gakpo heads the ball past Gerbic. I'm screaming for an offside at this point because that's what you do when you're in the Premier League and VAR is in operation. You just scream for VAR to cancel out a goal because it's just desperation. I'd have loved to have seen United take it to the very last minute of the game and still being with a chance of getting a point. Like, just putting balls into the box and hoping for the best, hoping to nick a draw. But when Gakpo scores practically on the 90th minute, you know that can't happen or that shouldn't happen. If it's playing against Sheffield United, you've still got a chance of scoring 2 goals. But the ball's played in. I think it's Mason Holgate that's playing him onside at the other side, but Osborne is not tracking him. Again, we're chasing the game. We're trying to go that way, not that way, and Osborne is probably trying to get further up the pitch to try and get us an equaliser. He's having to track back, and Gakpo heads a beautiful ball in from, again, I think it's Robertson. I think it's around the penalty spot. And it's a good header. It's a good header. I don't expect Gerbic to save this one. It's just to the side of him. It comes at him very, very quickly. And yeah, that is all she wrote. Frustrating, but at the end of the day, we are playing Liverpool. The stats, actually, expected goals 1.74 for Liverpool, and they scored 3. That just shows the Alexis McAllister goal was not a good XG, but a fantastic shot. We got 0.64 XG, which I think a lot of that probably came from the McAtee chance, because obviously I don't think anyone's expecting Gus Harm to score a header when he's heading it back across goal. Yeah, 83% ball possession for Liverpool, 17 for us. Doesn't look good, but I don't think possession always tells the full story because I don't think they did too much with it at times. Obviously, 29 goal attempts is a lot. Only 9 on target, 5 for us, 3 on target for us. Do you know what? Going into this game, if someone said to me, "You're going to score a goal and you're going to have 3 shots on target," I'd have probably taken it before the game and just hoped that we could defend really, really well. Um, wow. The first half and the second half, possession was 83 to 17. Crazy for both. Um, yeah, anyway, let's go into some comments, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I know it's one of those games where we've lost again, but I'm proud of them tonight. I think they defended fantastically for most of the game. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It really is. I love the fact that I set this up earlier on and people are actually commenting about goals going in and stuff like that. 2-1 Liverpool, unfortunately. Bloody good game by the lads tonight. They worked extremely hard and gave Liverpool a bit of a wake up call if they intend to win the Premier League and send Klopp on his way with a smile. Yep, true, true, but I'm not really bothered about that. It's Sheffield United that we're bothered about. But do you know what? It's nice to go up against Liverpool in their own backyard, especially if they go on to win the Premier League and give them a bit of a fry. It shows that we've played well. Wilder has cost us what could have been a really good point. We looked comfortable, and then as soon as Wilder changed the formation, it gave Liverpool confidence. Possibly, possibly. I've not looked at it that way. I probably will do later on tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, yeah, I think Wilder's done well tonight, to be fair. I think they played well tonight. Yes, Lee, absolutely. I thought it was just a great game of football, proper scrap it, and I don't think VAR was used once. Great game. Yes, yes, I love that. Blade Runner, 2 lucky goals, 1 for each team, plus a moment of world class shooting from McAllister. Third goal was due to stretch defense. Brilliant performance with the boys on the. Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with that. We seem to run out of steam in the last 20 minutes. Yeah, occasionally. We are playing against world class players, aren't we? How many stunners have we against us this season? I think at the end of the day, yes, that is true. But it's when you give them time and space to have a go. 3-1 flattered them. We were trying to nick a draw. Brilliant. Best loss of the season. All I want is a performance. The result is only part of the story. Absolutely, Andy. You are speaking my language there. Keeper, shocking. Andrew is also right. About time Trusty played well. Absolutely, Ian, because I think even I've lost faith in Trusty. And I really liked Trusty before we signed him and the first few games. I was calling for him to start, and even I've had to give him a little bit of stick recently. Lots of positives. When did it become okay for the Blaze to be grabbed by the throat? 2 weeks running now. Absolutely, Millie. Absolutely. The grab around the throat, another VAR decision wrong. There we go. Croatia keeper is very poor, waste of 2 million. Harmer is a dynamo, 100% effort. Please stay next season. I hope he stays as well. Why did he bring the subs on? It went Pete Tong then. I don't know if it did, I don't know if it did. I think it's just a great strike, isn't it? That's the difference between the two teams. Always expected to run out of energy, but fair play to the lads, was a very decent effort against the champions elect. All right, Justin's thinking that they're going to win the league. Two subs. Poor Diaz should have stayed on and not Asula while they're gone too defensive. Maybe. Far too many bad passes. I think that's probably right, but we are playing Liverpool after all. I've never known a home crowd so subdued. Thought they had a good atmosphere at Liverpool. No. Only when they're playing well. They only sing when they're winning. So proud of how we play tonight. Loads of spirit and determination. Some really good play. Work their socks off too, right? Elaine, how was Van Dijk still on the pitch? Exactly, Elaine. Exactly. No issue with that, Nick, in the game for 88 minutes after Liverpool. Can't really moan too badly with that. Absolutely, Andrew. I completely agree with what you're saying, my friend. McAtee could have changed the game. Yep. Um, Cracking save from the Virgil van Dijk header. Trying to remember that. Can't remember that. Better performance today, but the quality shines through. Rodri, Dallo, and now McAllister showing their sheer quality that keeps the top of the league up at the top. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Edward. We just need to try and not give them as much space. I'm on the way back from the ground, but well done, Blades. Give it all the best. Yep, Jamie, absolutely, absolutely. As long as things are going in the right direction, which to me they are, I'm not really interested in getting all hurt and nervous about losing. Keep fighting, and I keep supporting. There we go. Question, Nick. Is Wilder the man to take us forward? Yes or no? Me, the answer is no. I'd definitely give him a chance. If we've got nobody else in line, no younger, hungry manager in line, there's no better man to take us back up, really, in the kind of past 5 or 6 years. Obviously, Chris Wilder has been the man to take us up twice. So I give him a chance, but it's one of them things you just don't know. You just don't know. He's had a couple of poor seasons, shall we say, not job seasons, because I think he were really good for Middlesbrough in that first season, which they often forget. Uh, Hi, Nick. Wilder letting us down again. Wrong starting lineup, and yet again letting us down with baffling substitutions and get rid of garbage. Need a new keeper. I disagree, Michael, but we're all fine to give our opinions. Obviously, um, I can't wait for this season to end and all. Need some big players coming in. I think we've got quite a lot of players coming in. To be perfectly honest, I'd change the manager. His tactics get me scratching my head. Michael, who would you have played instead? I think that is possibly one thing that I could have said, but I didn't. I'm glad somebody else did. Bring Nick Montgomery in for next season. That's a good shout. That it is a good shout. Um, even though we lost, we played really well. Too right. Um, Bogle and Anel were immense tonight. Our blaster looks like he's been playing for years, composed, confident, and comfortable on the ball. All the C's. Why take McAtee off? Osborne left for dead by Gakpo's run. Credible performance overall. Yeah, I think we're all pretty happy tonight. Pretty happy. Those criticising Wilder aren't considering the things he has to consider: fitness, careers, the 3 points, fitness. That's fitness again. Experience versus youth. You're not wrong, Andy. You are not wrong. I am with you totally there. Much better, all much better tonight. Still conceding late on, but it was Liverpool. Wilder is making a difference now. It's 50-50. It's 50-50 with Wilder. Do you seriously think the Prince is going to buy Diaz? Um, I think that he would like to buy Diaz, and I think that Wilder would like to have Diaz next season. I just don't know whether somebody else will come in for him and pay more money. And if a Premier League club wants him, they'll get him probably. I'm not saying that because Diaz is chasing money or anything like that, but he deserves to play Premier League football at the end of the day. But if nobody comes in for him, I'd love to see us sign him. Um, Still think the Owls will do you next season. Shut up. They won't even play us next season. I said I'd be content with 3-1, and 3-1 we got. Chris, nice to see you, mate. We either shoot ourselves in the foot with schoolboy errors or concede world-class goals. There's nothing in the middle. There's nothing in the middle. We're breaking all other records, so it wouldn't surprise me if we set the lowest possession record tonight. I think it could have been. It's around that. Enjoying the show. Thank you very much, Paul. Much appreciated, buddy. Um, can only be proud and positive of the Blades today, Matthew. Absolutely, pal. Um, we 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 will beat Chelsea. That is what is being said in the comments. Great stream, SUA. Love to see it, Dom. Thank you very much. A loss, but a very positive all-around performance, Nick. Definitely, John. I agree, mate. Love you, Nick. Thank you. Thanks for staying motivated and delivering us from evil for delivering for us during the absolute nightmare of a season. I've been doing it for years, haven't I? Even through the horrible season in the Premier League the time before, that felt worse than this. And we were still here week in, week out. I say we, your boy. Wilder, we need to stick by and build. Played really well tonight. Wilder is the right man. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I like to see opposing opinions. I really do. Did well. Couldn't knock them tonight against a good side. We will be better next season. Up the blades, but it hurts. Never a truer word spoken. What happened to your Facebook, Nick? That's for another time, Chris. We will discuss that another time. Liverpool fan here. We just wanted to say, use right. You gave us. I can't do that. Oh my god, that was attempted at a Scouse accent, and that was terrible. It's probably not even a Scouser if it's a Liverpool fan. Want to you, but just want to say, Hughes gave us a very good game. Much respect to the Blades. Thank you very much. Best of luck. I'm only messing with you. I would have started with the same team against Fulham. Um, McBurney and Ben Brereton Diaz, or McAtee and Ben Brereton Diaz against Chelsea. It's got to be McBurney and Ben Brereton Diaz, hasn't it? At the end of the day, because they were fantastic against Fulham, and I think we can go for the jugular. I think they've gone and lost against Man United tonight after being 2-0 up. So that's either going to work one way or the other, isn't it, for us? Yeah, Gaza's saying McBurney and Ben Brereton Diaz should start. I think Wilder is doing a good job with all the injuries. It's tough, at least. We had a good go tonight. Ah, real Scouser. Love to see it. You love to see it. Darwin Lover. I'm going to stop it there. Sorry. Sorry for disrespecting Liverpool completely there. Let's leave it. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Please leave a like on the video before you go. I have attempted a Liverpool accent at 10:15 at night after seeing us lose 3-1. So if that doesn't make you like this video, I don't know what will. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, didn't pick up any points again, but I'm proud of the boys tonight. See you soon.